you can.
Dad, Grandpa.
Since there were no visitors at the mill on the marsh this weekend, Uncle CJ had got into Campo to go to Sunnysands. He was going to buy some wool for Auntie Jules because knitting was her new hobby, as you can see. She'd knitted things for everyone, woolly hats and gloves and scarves, and hot water bottle covers that looked like vegetables.
Look at this.
Oh, that's very original, Jules.
I know. And these, Grandpa, these are for you. Ta-da! Bed socks.
Bed socks. Oh, but they're wonderful.
I know.
Yes, everything was woolly today. We were spending a day in woolly Wonderland. We heard someone calling.
Riddle-dee-dee. I know that voice.
It was Mr. Yomper Stomper.
Mr. Yomper Stomper.
A riddle-dee-ree, a riddle-dee-ree. It's a rambler's life for me. Up in the mountains and down in the dales, rivers and waterfalls, valleys and vales, yomping and stomping through England and Wales, rambling and gambling free.
Mr. Yomper Stomper always sings when he arrives. Mrs. Ostrich heard your singing.
Oh, hello, Elsie. Hello, Mrs. Ostrich.
You're always so cheerful, Mr. Yomper Stomper.
Happy as a lark, me, Grandpa. Oh, and look, here's what I've spotted today in the way of flora and fauna.
Which means plants and animals.
Squirrel, rabbit, pine cone, oh, and a small brown thingamy that might be a nut.
Well, this is a very good day to go on a nature ramble, Mr. Yomper Stomper, because it says in the Sunnysands Gazette that there's a huge caterpillar on the loose.
Riddle-dee-ree, the giant woolly carpet caterpillar. I think it might be called that because it looks like a giant woolly carpet.
Really?
I would love to get a photo of that. I could start a collection of nature ramble photos called Extraordinary Creepy Crawly Things That Look a Bit Like Carpets.
You could, Mr. Yomper Stomper. What fun! I could easily take up rambling as a hobby. In fact, why don't we go outside now and see if we can spot the giant woolly carpet caterpillar?
That is a great idea. Come on, Jules.
We'll come too. I bet Mrs. Ostrich can find it.
I think I'll go and watch from upstairs.
So, we all started looking. Then suddenly, Mr. Yomper Stomper cried.
Jules, come quick. Something has been nibbling your bellis perennis.
That's the Latin name for a daisy. Mr. Yomper Stomper always uses Latin names for plants.
Gracious! Something very hungry has been nibbling my bellis perennis.
I take this as a sign that the ginormous carpety caterpillar is on the loose. Right here.
Grandpa was watching from the balcony.
There's a hungry caterpillar here somewhere, Grandpa.
Find it, Elsie. Find it.
And just then, we did. It's here. Look.
I'm going to get a picture. Out the way. I need to get a picture.
But the ginormous carpet caterpillar was scared.
Fiddle-dee-fee. It's gone down the hole. All my fault. I scared him.
I'm sure he'll be fine, Mr. Yomper Stomper. Come on, let's go inside.
We have to talk to Grandpa. So we ran upstairs to find Grandpa. Grandpa! The ginormous carpety caterpillar's gone down the rabbit hole.
I know. I'm going to rescue him.
But he's gone right down. You can't reach him.
I think I will.
Not the shrinking cat, Grandpa!
Catch me if you can.
When Grandpa shrinks, there's no stopping him. He could can hide in all kinds of tiny places.
And he can get under strange things. And his magic can make things go, like the car.
And Gordon, the toy seagull. And our cousin Jason's plane.
He can even make an ostrich fly. And today, that's what he did.
Where's Grandpa? Here he is! He was on Mrs. Ostrich. He took off and flew out of the window. And he landed in the meadow. Got off and down the rabbit hole he went.
Ah, Mr. Twitch Whiskers. Sorry to crash in on you like this. I don't suppose you've seen a caterpillar that looks like a woolly carpet, have you? I'll take that as a no. I'll have a look down here.
And Grandpa set off to search for the caterpillar.
Caterpillar! Woolly caterpillar! Where are you?
Mr. Twitch Whiskers followed.
Ah, there you are. Oh, and here's Mr. Twitch Whiskers too. He's not looking very happy. I think we better get out of here. Follow me.
And Grandpa showed the caterpillar the way out of the rabbit hole.
We were watching from the balcony.
There he is.
Come down, you two, and bring me a bed sock.
A bed sock?
Oh, cheer up, Mr. Yomper Stomper. I'm sure the caterpillar will be fine. Here, have a woolly hat.
Oh, thank you, Jules. It's a lovely hat, but I'm still very sad I'll never see the caterpillar again.
Oh, there, Mr. Yomper Stomper. Oh, have a woolly scarf.
Just then, we came in. I had the bed sock stuffed up my T-shirt.
Help me clear up the wool, then I can make tea.
I'm just going to have one more look for the caterpillar.
Oh, dear.
I'll never get to see him turn into a beautiful butterfly.
Oh, have some woolly earmuffs.
Just then, the phone rang.
Mill on the marsh.
So Josh ran into the meadow to find Grandpa.
The caterpillar's gone up the tree. He has to be left in peace to turn into a butterfly.
Right, brought you the bed sock.
Marvellous.
But what's it for?
Well, I'm guessing Mr. Yomper Stomper will want a picture.
Yes, he's all upset.
So now we'll get one.
And Grandpa crawled inside the bed sock. And he looked just like the woolly carpet caterpillar. I'm going to tell Mr. Yomper Stomper. Before long, Mr. Yomper Stomper was back in the meadow and very excited.
He was taking loads of pictures of the woolly carpet caterpillar.
I love him. I just love him. Who's a cuddly little carpety caterpillar? I'm sorry I frightened you, Mr. Carpet. I have had an idea. He can come home with me. I can make it up to him. We can be friends. He can live in my garden where he can turn into a beautiful butterfly.
I'm sure he'd rather stay here.
But he'll eat all your auntie's plants.
And Mr. Yomper Stomper put him in his lunchbox.
This was a disaster.
There. I leave the lid like that so you can get some air, my little woolly friend.
Suddenly, I had an idea. Just before you go, Mr. Yomper Stomper, can I download all of the photos that you've taken onto our computer?
Of course. That way you'll always remember Mr. Carpet.
You know what to do, Elsie. I'll be back.
Get me out of the lunchbox, Elsie. Then there's one more thing I have to do.
What's that, Grandpa?
Turn into a butterfly, of course.
Lovely. See you soon. Bye. Did you find the caterpillar?
Yes,
Josh and Mr. Yomper Stomper seemed very excited.
they are.
They dashed upstairs.
They're looking at the pictures on the computer.
Oh, lovely. I've got to rush. Got more guests coming, so I need to make some beds up.
I was glad she had a job to do, because so did I. I got some material out of the bits and bobs box and some pipe cleaners. Then I ran back outside. And very soon, Grandpa looked like this. He was an extraordinary butterfly.
How do I look, Elsie?
Amazing.
Then Mr. Yomper Stomper came outside.
Josh is just printing out those pictures for me. How exciting!
Mr. Yomper Stomper picked up the lunchbox and saw that the caterpillar had gone.
Fiddle-dee-fee, I've lost him again.
No, you haven't. Look.
He's turned into a butterfly. I had no idea it could happen so quickly.
How lovely. He looks for all the world like something I knitted.
I am so happy. It'd be cruel to catch him now. Can he stay in your garden, Jules?
He certainly can. Now he's not going to eat everything.
Well, I must be away. Climb another mountain, ford another stream. I might even see another carpety caterpillar. Who knows?
And off went Mr. Yomper Stomper.
And in went Auntie Jules.
And down flew Grandpa.
Let's get you out of there. And I picked him up very carefully and ran inside. We got Grandpa out of his butterfly costume
And put him down on the floor.
Come on, quick.
Well, we made Mr. Yomper Stomper happy. Can't have him upset, can we?
You were an amazing caterpillar, Grandpa.
And a fantastic butterfly.
Couldn't have done it without you two. What do we call it?
Teamwork!
Grandpa, did you spot the butterfly? It was quite the most gorgeous thing I've ever seen.
I couldn't agree with you more, Jules. Gorgeous.
Rosie and Fizz, Rosie and Fizz, playing together, whatever the weather. Two best friends and the fun never ends. So come on in and play with Rosie and Fizz.
Hello, my name is Lucy and this is Rosie. Hello, Rosie. Let's put Rosie here. And this is Fizz. Hello, Fizz. And Rosie and Fizz have been very busy today playing with their toys, and inside their toy box are lots of clues for today's story. Shall we have a look? There's some hoops, a yellow hoop, a red hoop and a purple hoop, a feather and a very tall hat. A very tall hat with a pink flower. Rosie and Fizz are putting on a show and we're going to help them. So are you ready? Let's switch to story time. And we switch to story time by making a big story clock. Can you make a big story clock with me? After 3, 1, 2, 3, a big story clock with seconds, minutes and hours. And pretend your body is the big hand and put your little hand like this and join in with me.
Tick tock, it's the story clock. It must be time for a story. Tick tock, it's the story clock. Are you ready for a story? Stretch up high, stretch down low. Wriggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Tick tock, it's the story clock. Hands up, who's ready for a story?
Rosie and Fizz were playing by the garden wall. It was a very high wall. They couldn't see over it, but they always heard lots of noises coming from the other side. They heard cars that beeped, beep, beep, and people that chattered, and sirens that were very noisy. Cover your ears, Fizz.
Nino, 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 Nino.
But this was a very special day because Rosie and Fizz heard music playing. I wonder where that music is coming from, said Fizz. And then Rosie and Fizz saw something quite extraordinary. From above the garden wall, they saw a very tall hat. A very tall hat with coloured dots and a pink flower. I wonder whose hat that is, asked Rosie. And then the very tall person wearing the very tall hat started to throw hoops in the air all at the same time.
And people started clapping and cheering. Then the very tall person wearing the very tall hat started to spin plates on sticks in the air all at the same time. And the clapping and cheering grew louder and louder and louder. Hooray! Shouted Rosie and Fizz. Then the very tall person wearing the very tall hat started to throw balls in the air all at the same time, and the clapping and cheering grew louder and louder and louder.
I have hoops, said Rosie. Let's put on a show. That's a good idea, said Fizz. Choo, 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 choo. And now, said Fizz. Wait for us, interrupted Caterpillar.
We want to see the show too. And Caterpillar, Hedgehog and Owl sat down on the rug.
Are we ready? Asked Rosie. Ready, said everyone. Do, 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 do. Welcome to the show, shouted Fizz.
Rosie started spinning the hoops around, going faster and faster and faster, and flung them in the air. Catch them, Rosie, shouted Fizz. 1, 2, and bump. Ouch! Ta-da! My go, said Caterpillar. And now for the great tightrope walk. Look how high Caterpillar is, said Rosie, and Caterpillar wriggled all the way along the string. Wow, cried Fizz, and everyone clapped.
Now it was Hedgehog's turn, and Hedgehog found a feather on the ground. And now for the disappearing feather, said Hedgehog.
First, Hedgehog balanced the feather on his nose. Now you see it, now you don't. And Hedgehog curled up into the smallest ball Rosie and Fizz had ever seen. Hooray! Shouted Rosie and Fizz, and everyone clapped.
Next, it was Owl's turn. Rosie, do you have any ribbon I can borrow? Asked Owl. Rosie looked in her bits and bobs box. Oh, yes, I do, said Rosie. I have some green ribbon and some orange ribbon. Thank you, said Owl.
Holding the ribbons, Owl swooped into the air and then twisted and turned, dancing in the sky. Everyone clapped and cheered. Fizz was the last to go, and we'll finish with a song. You've seen the show, it's time to go. Jump up high and crouch down low, with hoops and feathers and ribbons up high. Thank you for watching, now say goodbye.
And as Rosie and Fizz looked up at the high wall, the tall man wearing the very tall hat had disappeared and everything was quiet again. And that was the story of Rosie and Fizz put on a show. It's nearly time for Rosie and Fizz to go, but just before we do, let's stick the feathers and the hoops inside the Rosie and Fizz storybook, so they'll always remember their adventure and tell their friends all about it. Thank you for joining us, and why don't you join us next time? I wonder what toys we'll find inside Rosie and Fizz's toy box. We'll see you then. Bye! Right then, shall we stick them in? Let's find a new page. Here you go. And let's stick in the hoops first. Let's go like that. Bye!